Just this last fence to go to start things off perfectly for Team France. As Chloe and Contessa join that list of 0 scores to get their Children's Europeans underway in perfect style, a pat well deserved. Chloe Tamai and Contessa de TGZ then. Next to go, the first of the riders for Hungary. Lara Krespik riding Rosa, there by Action Breaker. 9-year-old horse. First time at the championships. Jumped on the Nations Cup team in Zidovic back in April. Oh, backed off a little bit there from that water. And now again, it's not the first time today we've seen that little bit of confusion over which way you turn. Oh dear. I think the loss of concentration, having to decide to go back to the double. In fact, interestingly there, they have of course allowed it as a jump because she got to the other side. So in fact she's taken a circle, which will again give her those extra 4 penalties, and now what she can't afford is a second stop. Time penalties as well. Oh dear. Really tough moment. Lara and Ariosa, sadly, having had the circle after that problem at the double. She'd started off so well. Oh, that is a shame. We turn to our next in this opening round of jumping for the children here this morning for the Czech Republic. This is Andrej Popespelil. Riding Concaba, stallion by Contagos. Making their debut here at a Europeans. Jumped on the Nations Cup team at home in Zidovic. Different parts of this course, as much as we've seen a couple of little issues at the double, it really has been quite well spread and sort of making their own mistakes. It's a very jumpable course that Bart's given them today. You've always got to see if they can just as well keep them. They're not going to get inside the time allowed, are they? .22 is the final total for the first of the riders for the Czech Republic there. Andrej Popespelil and Concaba. The jumping and time total there. It's 14 for time, 8 for jumping. Which means, well, we'll see how the remaining riders in the team get on a little bit later. To remind you, in the majority of cases, there are 5 riders starting out for each of the teams, of which 3 scores today will count. They will then elect the 4 to go into the teams for the next couple of rounds. Of course, though, the other riders and all riders continue to jump as individuals. Next to go, it's Italy, Andrea Pisani, and this is H5 Zarap. This Italian partnership, this Dutch warm blood, by Zapatero. He's a rider that won the Grand Prix in Zedovich with his other ride, Chalmanja. Very nice. Great start for the Italians. Andrea Pisani there, and H5 Zarap delivers the clear. Strong pathfinder there for the Italians. So joining that list of 0 scores.
Starting Carrero T6, Cyber Carrera VL and 0. Straks staat Brian de Weerbouw die op de right zit.
Next to go, it's Team Germany who get things underway here with Brianna Beerbohm riding Carrero TZ. Gelding by Carrera VDL. And this rider who was part of the gold medal winning team for Germany 12 months ago. Perfect start for a young lady that will be looking to try and put Germany back in position for a gold again this year. Brianna Beerbohm, Carrera TZ has delivered a clear round to kick things off for Germany. Next to go, Spain. And this is the turn of Alexander Herst riding Corrien. Gelding by Palmo K. These two who recently were down in Monte Carlo in Port Hercule. A podium finish in the 2-star. Some good results, jumped well in Hagen. Brianna Beerbams that we saw a moment ago, 79.81. Of course, I should have mentioned at the moment is the best of the times. Not only clear rounds, of course, what you ideally need, but of course, if you can give yourself a clear and a good time, it all works to your advantage. 80.15, and that is a strong start. Spain have got some tremendous talent. We saw that in the juniors yesterday. We're seeing it again in the children this morning. Alexander Hirst there and Colleen finding their way into second place at the moment, 80.15. Norway joining us here with Filippa Koskro-Greisterad riding Nildans. Team in the Children's Nations Cup in Drammen back in May. Really positive start to this round. This double though, 6A, 6B. Well, they finish on a final score of 4, safely on the clock, in on the time, but 84.15 and 4 to move into 10th place there for Filippa. So that was to open things up for Norway. Next to go will start the proceedings here for Poland. Adam Kozinski riding Larina, this grey mare by Carlos DZ. So Poland going next. 8 riders have delivered a clear, first of which for Germany, Brianna Beerbam. They gave that a nudge, yes, and it was more than a nudge. Sadly, that has gone down. Recovered nicely though, because although they had the first part down, that left them too deep to the second, but unfortunately the fence that follows those 5 strides is what catching them out. So they finish on a score of 12. Adam Korinski and Larina there to start things off for the Polish team. So 12 penalties at the final score. As they take their leave, we move on to the first of the riders for the British team, Emily Gulliver and Glamour. Emily, who with Fleur de Nuit was part of the bronze medal winning team at the Europeans in the children's 12 months ago in Italy. This is her 3rd time on Claire Whitaker's Children's European Championship team for Britain. problems with this double. But she's got a lovely rhythm and balance to the way she rides. She had a fabulous warm-up for these Europeans recently, jumping at Bolesworth in the children's classes there. Safely in on the clock. Great Britain start with a clear. Emily Gulliver delivering a lovely round of jumping on Glamour to join that list of clears. 7th in terms of time from an individual standpoint, 84.55. But that's one of the zeros that the British team need. One of the zeros. Clear rounds so far for Germany, Spain, France, Italy, Lithuania, Belgium, Great Britain, Switzerland, and for Israel. Next to go is the first of the riders for Team Sweden, and this is going to be the turn of Emily Kronenberg riding Gasco Horta. Gelding is by Cassini. This is her first championship. Rode the other week in Stockholm alongside the Global Tour in the children's classes. That sort of came out of nowhere because they'd been jumping rather well until that moment. That stopped coming right at the last second.
From Sweden, Emily Kronenberg and Casco Horta. Refusal at 12.
So Emily Kronenberg, Casco Horta, finishing on a total of 12, unfortunately, for the first to go for Team Sweden. 12 for jumping, 8th time, 95.20 is that final time. Next to go is the first for Bulgaria, Marta Kolosha, riding Count Ebony, the stallion, Holstein Stallion by Casal. Rode at the Balkan Championships in the children's back in 2022 to finish in 6th place as an individual. First time though at the Youth European Championships here this year. Lovely round. Come the end, they are clear because they've just snuck in on the time allowed. 87.87. Time allowed, to remind you, is 88 seconds. Some would say that was judged to perfection. Well done, Marta and Count Ebony. First out for Bulgaria, jumping the clear round. A cracking start for them. as I say, it's a really jumpable course. They're just sort of fighting their own problems in different places. Well, the beautiful setting here in Pilberg, lovely facilities. Next to go, first out for Monaco, and this is Sophia Aurelia Georges riding Flyaway Sunhoop. This French-bred mare by Montender. First time at a championship. Jumped on the Nations Cup team recently as May and Mr. Aricio. Also was on the Nations Cup team in France back in April. That's unfortunate because she's missed the fence. Now she's having to come back. Yeah, she just needs to stay nice and relaxed if she can. Adding in. Oh no! That's really unfortunate because, of course, the circle counts as the first, and then that is certainly the second, just coming to a dead halt at the key fence there. So, what a shame for Sophia, because the horse was jumping rather well, but unfortunately, Flyaway Setup is eliminated. Well, that is a shame. Not the start that Monaco will have wanted. Now, though, is to start things off for Romania. Alicia Repta riding Mr. Soup, the stallion, Dutch stallion by Dextro. Another on a championship debut, as so often is the case in the children's category. It's their first season competing internationally, having ridden at the youth events this year in Zidovic, Linz and Samarin. A little bit deep to some of the fences. Double bringing a double of faults. Now, coming back round. Yeah, despite the problems, you can see they've kept their composure as best they can. They've ridden to the last, and Alicia Repta there finishing on a score of 16. It's
total score 16 penalties in 85-52.
Doing all they can to continue as positively as possible whenever they've had a problem. And that is a total of 16 for the first to go there for Romania. Well, next to go Slovenia, and this is Kaja Kropek riding Edith Piaf HF. This mare, Hanoverian mare, goes next. Kaja, who rode at the Europeans last year in Italy on the children's team, on that occasion riding Concordia. Still a horse that she has in her stable this year, being selected and choosing Edith PF HF. inevitably, once you've had the stop, the difficulty is compounded by the time penalties, but she's done a good job to keep her calm and resolve, and now coming round into this long final line. Well, the time penalties bring the total up to 16. It's 4 for jumping, 12 for time. 99.69 is that final time there for Kaja Koprek. Hadid FPF HF for Slovenia. Portugal's Diana Ferreira Pinto rides Action Boy Z. The stallion is by Action Breaker. It's their second appearance at a Europeans for Diana, having ridden SQD 12 months ago in Italy. Couple of Nations Cup appearances so far for Portugal this season in the Youth Series. Lovely round. What a great start that is for the Portuguese team. 8th individually, 84.89, jumps the clear round with Action Boy Z. So super start for them. Well, actually, we're now going to move into the second rotation of riders. Of course, Portugal, one of the teams which don't have the ability to field a score or a team of 5 today. They, in fact, have an all-scores count team of 3, so that was a really important start for them. But the Dutch is where we began with Liv Linsen. Now it's Maya Lunsink riding Galabuk Z, the second of the riders. Of course, the first was, well, Liv was really unlucky at the last fence down. But this mare is the second out for the Dutch team. Here, of course, competing at home. It's the home Europeans. So extra support, but I guess an extra little bit of pressure as well. This mare by Guidam's son. Unfortunately, well, in fact, with 2 going down, I still have the opportunity to get that 0 score from today, but it's just going to add pressure now to the final 3 riders for the Dutch if they want to try and finish this first round as a team on a 0. So many teams taking part. It's going to be fascinating to see just how the stage is set going forward over the next couple of days. The second round for the children will take place on Friday, and their team final on Saturday morning, and of course it's their individuals on Sunday. Well, this now is Ireland's Ted Fagan riding Console. Ireland, who started with Daisy O'Drea on a score of 8. And these two who the winning team in Hagen a few weeks ago. First championship appearance though for this young jockey. This mare by Catapult Z. Go a long way to just making things a little bit more comfortable for Ireland here on this opening day. Delivering when needed, Ted Fagan and Console giving Ireland the clear. James Kernan will be delighted. Just a round from Ted. Belgium up next already with a clear on the board, and their next rider is Jérôme Dinut riding Humeur Noir de Cran. So gelding by Canan. First time at a championship. Was on the winning team with this horse in Zidovic back in May. Oh, has their air jacket gone off? I think it has. That's going to make life difficult. I'm not quite sure what happens in this situation. It would be almost impossible to ride, I was going to say, with the pressure of it done up. Not sure how it stands. You have to take it off. And this is a new one on me. I'm learning as I go. Yeah, I had a horrible feeling that might happen because I think it counts as assistance. I'm just listening to Bert and that's such a shame. Well, next to go will be the Swiss team, but this is the combination about to get going. Lorraine Stella Harry. And this is E. Borussia, the mare, Dutch mare by Escanel V. Switzerland also started with a lovely clear round from Matilda Larsen. Some good Nations Cup outings this season in Linz, in Pastorizio. But two, certainly been a regular part of the Youth Nations Cup team in the children's category. Putting that experience to good use at the moment. This is looking good and could prove to be a really important moment for the Swiss team in these exceptionally early stages. If you can get your first two riders round clear on day one, you're looking for 1 out of 3 more. Now just don't overthink it. Read that well. And then went to the last, saw the stride and had the confidence. Lovely. Lorena. Jana comes next. Lorena, Stella Harry, and the Borussia for the Swiss, giving them their second clear round after Matilda Larsen. So Cornelia Knotts, their chef de keep, will be very happy with how that's all got going. Jana Worm it is now, though, for Austria.
By Stauffenberg and Lord Chip. From Austria, Jana Worm.
Now, the Austrian rider riding as an individual here this week. This is Forrest Gump, AMB. Rode at the Europeans last year with Cabello in the children's. Ooh, now, see that coming. They were still quite a long way away from the water, but heading off to the side. Doesn't want to go near it, and that sadly is elimination for the combination there, riding for Austria, Jana Worm and Forrest Gump, AMB. From an individual standpoint, at the moment, still Germany's Brianna Biderman has set the standard here with that clear round 79.81. Alexandra Hirst for Spain, and then Chloe Telemay for France. And it is France's next rider that we look to now. This is the turn of Baptiste Bogot riding Une Armoire de Jersey, the stallion by Calvaro. France obviously with that one clear round so far. These two again have played a role already on several occasions in competitions for France this year. Brings the score to 8. Well, unlike the Swiss team, the French team unable to bring both the first and second riders round for a clear. Baptiste there finishing on a total of 8. But of course, having already had that very strong start, France with some strong riders still to go in Olivia Bost's team. So that was 8 for Baptiste. Next to go, it is the next up for Hungary. Dalma Piotrowski riding maybe 112, the Westphalian mare by my Lord Cabargo. Another making her second appearance at a championship, having ridden in Italy last year on Prince of Persia. Hungary, who sadly saw their first rider get eliminated this morning. difficulties at the beginning with their opening rider getting eliminated. It's been made up for with their second rider, the team from Hungary, keeping themselves on track. Of course, the Hungarian rider's going very well yesterday in the juniors, but certainly now picking up the pace here. So well done from an individual standpoint. That goes into the top 10 for Dalma, and that means a clear for Hungary. Well, the next to go will be Sander Rindholt to Friesland, riding for Denmark. The Danish, a team of 4. So this is the first of their riders we get to see. Sander is the first to go for Team Denmark. First championship appearance, although has had plenty of outings already this year. This is their first international season. Really nice round at the moment. It's got a lovely forward flow to this. It'll be quite quick if they can get the clear. You would think this could certainly put them somewhere towards the top of the leaderboard in this one-round faults in time competition. In fact, it's going to put them to the very top, 78-41. Superb for the Danish partnership of Sander Rindholt to Friesland. And that ride, Katrina Ask. Lovely, lovely round from the Danish young jockey. So, what a great start for the team. What a great start for them individually. Patrick Opatani goes next, because we're on now to the Czech Republic, who picked up 22 with their first rider this morning. So again, a team that will be looking for a little bit of improvement if they can get it. This is Cora 685. It's mare by Chaco's son too. Two won the Children's Grand Prix in Samrin back in the start of June. Shame having that fence down in the double. Going to be needing clear rounds from the final 3 riders in their team today. Total of 8 for Patrick Opatani and Cora 685. There's going to be 2 more to jump before we reach the opening break. This class divided into 3 arena grading breaks. So this now is Italy. And the Italian team had a cracking start with Andrea Pisani a little bit earlier on. Andrea still sat in 5th individually with that clear. Now Gabriel Zani Minucci riding Diablo Z, this gelding by Diamant de Sameli. Part of the podium finish in Zudovic back in May. Finishes on the 4, 86-84 for Gabriel and Diablo Z. So that for Italy. A clear of 4 so far. The first two gone in their team of 5. Well, next up, to take us into the break, it is Germany, of course, who started with a cracking clear from Brian Birber, who still sits in second place. Now Max Kolga riding Chakpoki, the gelding by Chikato, out of a Keeps mare. Part of the podium finish in Hagen when they finished third. Oof. They almost went to miss a fence and then realised they needed to recover, and they did a brilliant job there because they didn't seem to lose any time. So this getting ever closer to being a brilliant start for Team Germany. Showing plenty of strength. Max Kolga, one left to jump, and a quick time as well. Goes into second, a little faster than his teammate. So that goes into second. Well done. 79-31, faster than Brian Birben, but it means 2 good, strong clears for Team Germany. A lot of jumping to come. Zander Rinald Fresden has jumped the best of the rounds so far, but there is a long way to go before we get to the end of this one. It is the Junior Children and Young Rider, the Youth European Championships. We're enjoying the first round of the Children's here this morning. We're going to come back shortly after this arena break.
So far, the top 6, ladies and gentlemen, in this European Championship first competition, teams and individuals, here in Kronenberg 2024. Welcome back in the milestone pumps and
Welcome back indeed as we get going once more with this Children's European Championships opening round here in Kronenberg in the Netherlands, and Finland to restart things. This faults and tying competition, the opening for the individual and team competitions for these children's nations. A lot of jumping still to come. We're only a third of the way through. There's 115 due to start this opening round. And now Olivia Tormi riding here for Finland with Graal, the gelding, by Argentinas. Just to remind you, the time allowed on this course is set at 88 seconds. First championship appearance for these two. Ooh, that's a shame. Finland, this is their first rider. They come here, Marcus Backlund of Chef de Keep, with a team of 4 riders. Of course, 5 can start on day 1, where they'll count 3 of the scores. Now needs to reset, come back, keep their calm.
From Finland, Olivia Tormi.
Time penalties were an inevitability, unfortunately, but they do get to the finish, and they do finish on a final score there of 29. It's 8 for jumping, 21 for time. So, still able to discard a score today, though, Finland. Hopefully, from their point of view, that will be the one. Spain started with a lovely clear round. Reyes Martin, the Chef de Keep's team, with Alexandra Hurst a little earlier on. Now they have Elida Vaquez Arado riding Gypsy Cardento. So this is the next part of the Spanish team, this Irish sports horse, this mare. Well, again, unfortunately, that double just catching them out, just trailing to bring the front rail. And Elena Vasquez Arado and Gypsy Cardento finishing on a score of 8. So Spain with a clear and an 8 so far, but it's still very early days in terms of the team scores. We'll keep you apprised of those and how things are comparing, but obviously it won't be until we get into the next rotation of riders that we can start to see how that begins to pan out. Next to go is Norway's Heba Solberg Jakobsen and La Perla VA. This Holstein mare is the next part of the Norwegian squad for these Children's Europeans. Norway, who had 4 faults with Philippa a little earlier on. They again are a team of 4. Jumping recently in the Baltic Championships. Was on the winning Nations Cup team in Drammen back in May. Time penalty as well as the jumping, so it's a score of 13 for Hedda and La Perla VA as the first of their rounds finishing for Norway, and that in fact Norway now picking up a score of 4, because with them only having a team of 4, that 13 can be held as a discard, but the earlier 4 will have to count towards the team total. Next to go, it is Helena Gola rides here for Poland with Carbonara MK. This Hanoverian mare by Tendros. Combinations had plenty of outings this year on the youth circuit in Nations Cup competitions. Coming up to this double. Nicely done with Water Trail on the 5. What a brilliant round that was from Helena as she goes clear and into second. 79.19 is the final time. Brilliantly done there for the Polish rider. Really big boost to the team as well, but in a individual point of view, really cracking performance, and can be delighted with that one. Individually, Denmark, Poland, Germany, the 1, 2, 3. Zander Rindelt, Fresland, those still leading 78.41. Now we move our attention to Turkey, and Guala Ozkan riding Mystic Lady Vanti Bukshahov, this mare by Toulon. First time at the Europeans, having ridden last year at the Balkan Championships in Marco Polo in Greece.
Very, very fast, but
It is quick, 72.38. Very, very quick indeed. In fact, no one's got anywhere near that sort of time. But 8 is the score, and with the speed, unfortunately, came the fences going down. So we turn our attention to the second of the riders for Great Britain. Honey Bowes now riding Java's El Cid. Of course, already the British team have had one clear round from that combination we saw a little earlier on with Emily Gulliver and Glamour. So now to the second rider of their team of 5. First time at a Europeans for Honey. Jumped on the Nations Cup team that finished in second in France back in April. Unfortunately, they're just getting caught underneath that one.
Well done, Honey Bowes, Great Britain, result for faults, the time 83.51.
Kept her calm. It is just that one fence that goes down for Honey Bowes there, and Java's El Cid for Great Britain. Sweden next up, Melody Olinga, continuing this competition. Melody riding Low Hill I Know Dat. This is an Irish sports horse actually, it's by Crack Diamond, the stallion. Sweden with a team of 5 here, but their opening rider did pick up a score of 12, so I'll be hoping to try and improve on that if they can with their second team member. Jumped very well with this horse in Stockholm just a week or so ago.
Well,
they finish on a total of 13 as well, because they've just gone over the time allowed by 0.44 of a second. Melody Olinga, not been the easiest start for Sofia Bedersberg's team from Sweden in the children's category. They've still got their 3 other riders to come, so every chance they can still improve on those scores. Well, this is the turn of the next to go for Monaco, Alessandro Ventura, riding Concardo. Sadly, their first rider today for Monaco who is a team of 4, was eliminated, so these scores now having to count Philippe Rozier's team. These two have jumped some good rounds this year. Certainly not proving to be a good start or an easy start for the Monegasque riders, sadly.
It's a pity, but we have a second refusal.
Oh, what a shame. Second of the riders from Monaco also eliminated.
From Romania,
just taking a moment just to make sure they know there's nothing scary there, really. It's just a little bit of water placed behind the poles. Ina Maria Botia now. We have our next to go riding for Romania with Kashmir. This Holstein stallion by Contendro. These two were on the winning team in Linz back in May. What a brilliant round that was from Ina. Kept that fabulous form, and that's a really good, important round for Romania as well. You see, I picked up a score of 16 a little earlier on, so Ina getting the clear, and they've still got 3 riders to go, putting them back on the front foot, going forward. Meanwhile, the team for Portugal will come next. Team from Portugal, I think I mean individuals from Portugal, because I'm pretty sure I remember that I said earlier that it was, yeah, they had the 2 individuals. Philippe Miguens, Multa da Costa and Colombo de Quartz. It's met by Dakota Hutins, goes next. Then we're going to move back to where we started with the Dutch after this for the 3rd rider of the team. Perfect round. Top 10 individually as well. They add to the list of clears, but it's in a really nice performance there. In fact, both the Portuguese riders, of course, now have gone clear. And they'll be delighted with that. There are a total of 19, if I got that right, 19 clear rounds so far. But Philippe going up into the top 7. Now we go back to the Netherlands, because this is Joop Schaap, the home team, of course, getting set to go with their next rider. It'll be the third rider we've seen for the Dutch. They haven't had a clear yet, so if they're going to move on a 0 score, they're going to need one here with Le Falk. Big important round. Difficult start for the Dutch team, problems there, and that, of course, means that they will have to count one of the faulted scores from a little earlier.
Het was de rit van Joep Schaap en El Valk, wat tegenslag op 8A. Uiteindelijk zijn het 15 strafpunten, 3 voor tijd, 15 penalties, including 3 time penalties. Time is 1974.
Well, difficult days for the Dutch. What about the Irish? They have had an 8 and a clear so far from Daisy and Ted. Now Sam Widger. The Irish, of course, they looked so good in Hagen the other week, and I'm sure will be one of the favourites going forward over the coming days. But this is Jaris Dissenbeck-Zed. This mare for Sam in his first championships. He was on that winning team with this horse in Hagen. Oh, what a perfect round. And there's no other way to put it, because as it stands, that is the best we've seen. Sam Widger has delivered a clear for Ireland in spectacular form. And that really is a massive boost to the team as well, because they've got 2 out of their 3 clears so far, and 3 riders got 2 to go. So I'm sure James Kernan, the Irish chef to keep, will be looking on with glee. Well done, Sam. Cracking performance to put that mare on top, 78.05. To Belgium, and they need a round. They got a clear, but sadly then they had that elimination. Now Eva Mendolia and Lorenzo could do with just alleviating the pressure a little on the last 2, if they could get a clear here. Well, Belgium's day going from bad to worse, sadly, and even Mandolia there and Lorenzo also eliminated. So Belgium, who of course former gold team medal winners in the past, have had the hardest of starts, and it'll certainly be making life more difficult for them going forward. I should have mentioned, I said earlier, Portugal had individuals. It wasn't that they were only individuals, they had a team of 3. I knew there was an anomaly. I was just looking back through, didn't want to leave that hanging out there. So the Portuguese team started with 2 clear rounds. Belgium still had that clear, but they've now got 2 riders to go, where the scores are going to be counting after those 2 eliminations. Now, though, it is the Swiss team who have really got underway brilliantly. I mean, they've had 2 clears already. This is their 3rd rider. And Michel riding Destin.
And the result for the competitor from Switzerland.
Well, it is a total of 8 this time round for the Swiss team. Michel there and Destin 82.46 on the clock. But of course, as I mentioned, the Swiss team have at least got a couple of clears in the books already. Well, to the team from France that go next. There's a polo waiting at the gate for the pony. This is Luis Peru next to go. France, who have started with a clear and an 8 from Chloe and Baptiste. So, in a relatively good position. This is Lita de Lille's, the Saint-Francais mare by my lord Carthago. These 2 finished in 2nd just recently in Vichy in the amateur competition. They jumped very well there. They put in some really strong performances over the course of this year and rode on the team in Pastorizio. So on that Nations Cup team back from Compiègne as well. So they've been a partnership together now for the last couple of 3 years in international competition. They've got a good level of experience. There's just a little bit of work going into the rebuild there. At the moment, Sam Vidja for Ireland leads individually from Zander Reinhold Frensland for Denmark. Then it's Poland's Helena Gola, Germany's Max Kolga, Germany's Brian Birabum, and then it's Alexandra Hirst for Spain. That is the current top 6 individually. But here we go with Louis and Lita de Illes. Well, they get quicker and quicker, and it was always probably going to be the case because we No, there's a huge amount of talent in the youth in this children's category, and France's Louis Peru there has just shown that clearly to everybody. The French star has gone to the top. It didn't last long for Sam Widger, still a cracking result for the young Irish rider, but France now with another clear on the board, so they've got 2 of their 3 riders clear so far. Hungary up next. The combination joining us is the turn now of Lauren Kerali riding for Celebration, this stallion. Hungary, who sadly had elimination with their opening rider, but then did get the clear from Dalma, their second of their 5. This is number 3. Unfortunately, that fence goes down. Time penalties adding on, but it's 8 come the end. They keep it to 8 for Celebration. And Lauren Corelli. Well, that was for Hungary. So they as a team, of course, still could yet finish on 0 score here today. There's plenty that could. Ireland, Belgium, Switzerland, France, and Hungary, Portugal. So those that have jumped and put scores on the board so far. Well, this is the turn of our next to go already on course here with Laura Sloth Kara for Denmark. Kara Sweetheart had a clear from Zandarin up Friesland a little earlier on, so this team of 4 looking to try and keep up that strong standard. Oh, they are absolutely flying along, aren't they? The Danish will be delighted. Double clears so far, 2 out of 2 for the team as they push on, and it was a cracking individual performance from Laura. She's got into the top 10. So they have 2 riders right up there, showing a lot of strength. Certainly going to be fascinating the next 5 days. I mean, consistency will become such a key part of what we see over the coming days, because of course to keep going clear day after day is where it becomes so difficult. But there is a lot of talent, a lot of excitement. Now this is the next to go on course at the moment. The partnership here for the Czech Republic is Vanessa Hakarova riding Illusion. Well, not a clear round, steady clear, but clear. And in terms of team competition, that is important because the Czech Republic had faults from their opening two riders, so that keeps them in the hunt with two to go. Vanessa, well done on Illusion. Italy go next, and the Italians also with a clear and four from their opening two riders. Now Maria's turn, Maria Vittoria Garfi, riding Caffeine des Roches. Important moment for the Italian team, because this again could just alleviate the pressure going forward. Bravo. Clear round. Italy will be over the moon. Marco Bagomi's team get their second clear. Maria joining Andrea with a 0 score, so they've got 2 out of 3 clears so far with 2 to go, and that, of course, always going to give you that slightly stronger hand. The next to go will already be underway. It's Germany, who have had the perfect start with 2 clears from 2. Lutz Grusova now with LA Lovely Boy, this gelding by Los Angeles. Of course, you've got one German rider, Max Golga, 5th, one German rider, Brianna Bierman, in 6th. So if they can get a clear here, they know they'll head on into the second day of team jumping with a 0 score. But it's taken team at 1 gold here. The Europeans 12 months ago when we were in Italy are only looking strong in these early stages. That's a hat-trick of clears for Germany, and confirming that they now have 3 riders in the top 10 as well. Top 8 I could go as far as saying, but Germany know they will head on with that 0 score now guaranteed, with still Charlotte and Emma to come, showing a lot of talent. Nita Tolonen now with Keep Going for Finland, the team up next. They sadly had a big score from their opening rider, but now with 3 to go, these scores are going to count. Nita Tolonen Keep Going for Finland. Well, they'd got so close. That's really unfortunate to get a late fence falling.
And the result in this competition against the club, the
85-79 on the clock. Nita Tulilan as the Finnish team of Marcus Backlund. There will now be on a score of 4 as the best potential outcome here in this opening round, this first day. Well, next to go, Spain, who've had a clear and an 8 from their opening 2 riders, now have Paula Regil Cunaro and Harold Suguets, this gelding for the Spanish team. Well, they get a clear round as well. Spain, as I said earlier, they've got some great riders. We saw that in the juniors. Again, we're seeing it in the children. And that is another brilliant round. So a clear round there. Goes into the top 20 with that 84.07 from Paula Regil Cunaro. And Spain now with 2 of the 3 riders they've seen so far go clear. Twiggy Josephine Asasanda now. But Quinine, this is for Norway, who had a 4 and a 13 from their opening 2 riders. This mare by Quintenda. What a round for Norway. It's chopping and changing towards the top. Of course, Louis Peru leading at the moment, Louis Peru for France. But now Norway pop up into second. A fraction behind Twiggy and Quintine. Norway now put a clear round on the board. Their best potential outcome after day 1 is still going to be a team score of 4, but that is a real boost for Norway. Next to go, Paulina Solik. Of course, now for Poland. And just having a little look back at the Polish riders so far with a 12 and a clear. They are a team of 5, so still with every chance. Unfortunately, that fence has gone down, which means 4, yes, but it also just adds a little bit of pressure to the final 2 from Poland if they want to make sure they get to the end of today on a 0. As far as the team competition goes, as that they cross the line, Paulina Sonic there and Die Clean Lady. So from Poland, the next team will be Turkey. This is the turn of Derin Sarısu, riding Careful, the gelding, Dutch gelding by Carlos L.L. Now Turkey are a team of 4, so with an 8 penalty score so far, it'll, well, any faults from now on in are going to be counted. So a careful round is what is required from Careful. Good luck to Derin. Fortunately, as I said, that will count, as it will if they have another one down. They go quite steady as well. They might just need to be a little bit careful with the time allowed. Ooh, she lost her stirrup. Now the time allowed has gone past, and well, that means that Turkey will have to count the 8. This will become the discard. Whoa, big jump over the last. Well, they get to the finish on a total of 45 for Derin Sarısu there, and Careful. Such a shame, but well done for finishing things off. So, Turkish team on a score of 8. Next to go, it's Great Britain. Their third rider is Tabby Morgan-Evans, making her championship debut. Riding here with Bermudez BDA, this Kevin Z side gelding. Great Britain, who've had a clear from Emily Gulliver, 4 from Honey Bows. This combination were on the Nations Cup team that finished on the podium in Zidovic. First season jumping internationally. Riding with a lot of confidence. It's a quickish round as well. Where does she land? 80.31 into the top 10 individually, and Tabby booking a clear for the British team. She'll have to keep Claire Whitaker. Now knows she has 2 of the 3 clears that she would have wanted today, and Tabby, of course, doing a fabulous job from an individual standpoint, of course, giving herself that chance, booking a clear round, one of 28 of them so far out of the 60 that have now jumped. Jonathan Hansen for Sweden next. Sweden have had a tough day. They've got a lot of pressure on these riders still to come because they've got 12 out of 13 that have been scored from their opening 2. Now riding Mimi van Overis. This mare is by Inshallah de Moose. Big important round for Sweden from a team perspective.
And another clear round.
What a round. Under the pressure when was needed. Jonathan Hansen delivers for Sweden, and that was worth a huge cheer. You can see the happiness of the team up on the kiss and cry. They so needed that cleared in Sweden, and they've brought that together with Mimi van Overis. Monaco, who've certainly had a tough day. Now have Amelia Banks-Clark and Uma Z as the next encores. This mare by Untouchable. Sadly, already eliminations counting against them. Just running into that fence. Of course, the 2 eliminations already against the team, it does technically mean the team has been eliminated. So it's more from an individual standpoint, these combinations compete, and that makes 8. 80.43 on the clock for Amelia Banks-Clark and Uma Z for Monaco.
Amelia Banks-Clark, Uma Z. From Romania, Horia Butusa.
So now Horia Butusa rides for Romania.
Next to go, Horia Butusa.
So this is Cadana de Chateau for the Romanian team that have had a 16 and a clear so far. gone off with a little bit of pace here. Really sitting back, waiting for the fence now. Left-handed back into the final few fences. Sadly getting caught at the double though. Nice positive round, 80.50 and 4 for Horia Buzutsa. And Caran de Chateau for Romania. So that means they've still got 2 to go. They've got that clear, so they could yet still finish on a 0 score. So I believe now of the 20 teams, there are still 15 of them that could finish on a 0 score. Portugal, though, now with Eduard Borges, who is their 3rd and final rider. It's an all clear round scores so far. They've had clears from Diana and from Felipe, but with all scores counting, there's a lot of pressure on this round. Major pleasure, this stallion. Unfortunately, it isn't going to be, because that score of 4 becomes 8, and that will move the team on score on as well. So it was never going to be easy for Portugal. So it reaches what we've now done is reach the point in a moment. The next rider to come in will be for the Dutch, and that will be the 4th rider. Rotation starting. It will mean that there are, as I say, will now be 14 teams that could finish still on a 0 score. But of those, only 1 team is guaranteed a 0 score. And that will be Germany, because they're the only team with 3 clears at the moment. 16 it is. Eduard Borges and Major Pleasure. So where they finish on 16. Stella Hegers now. We do move into the next rotation of riders, and we start with the Netherlands, who at best could finish on a score of 4 here today, with 2 riders still to go, holding discarders scores of 9 and 15. This is going to be the turn then of Sissi de la Haye. There's the team watching on from the Kiss and Cry. Of course, they're home Europeans as well. Stella Hegers, this mare, then goes next by Norman Pripois. The Netherlands really could do with a clear right about now. Oh, will it? Could it? Should it? Yes, it can. And the Dutch get their clear. They've had to wait, and Stella Hageders and Sissi de la Haye has just given the Netherlands their first clear round. It means they could yet still finish on a score of 4, and that will be key. They'll want to stay within a fence of the leaders. So well done. The Dutch get a clear with Minin de Vos still to come a little later. Now Charlie Flynn for Ireland. And the Irish team will be hoping that they get their 0 score guaranteed here, because Charlie riding Elia, this gelding, Dutch gelding. First championship appearance. The Irish team with 2 clears and an 8 so far. So clear here guarantees, like Germany, their 3 clears and 0 score today for the team. Sam Widger for Ireland, sitting 3rd individually as well. Into the home stretch. Charlie Flynn, one more fence to go with Elia. It's not going to be a bad time either if he lands it. Ireland guaranteed a 0 in terms of the team, so putting them in a strong position. Always going to be the form team after that recent Hagen performance, so well done. So with Robbie Sheenan still to come, they've got 3 clear rounds so far. Belgium certainly haven't had it easy, and these next couple of rounds for Belgium are going to be fascinating for a team that, of course, have done so well here in the past. They started well. They had the clear from Jiska, but then Jerome and Eva both eliminated. Now Ella Boromir riding Moonshine, Vanti, Almondonk, Z. Whatever the score, it will count. More importantly, they cannot afford an elimination. The cost of that would be dear. First championship appearance for this young jockey. And she's doing a brilliant job, riding with a lot of positivity. Trying to be as careful as she can through that double. Now, here we go to the last, just what Belgium will have needed. 82.05, the clear round for Ella Boromir and Moonshine Vanti Almondonk Z. So Belgium can still yet get to the end of this on a 0 score, which is a tremendous position to be in, with Robin Vermeer still to come. Now the turn of Mohamed Shafi riding London Beat, so the next to come forward riding for Israel.
El Salvador for Israel, Mohamed Shafi.
Gelding, in fact, by El Salvador. Will, in fact, as well take us into the break. First international performance for these two. Well, they finish on a score of 8. Mohamed Shafi and London beat for Israel. They're 82-68 to take us into the break. Individually, Luis Peru leads the way for France, ahead of Norway's Twiggy Josephine Asanda and Ireland's Sam Lidger. That is the 1-2-3. In terms of team competition, it's Ireland and Germany, the only two teams guaranteed to finish today on a 0 score as things currently stand, but depending on how rounds go, that could yet increase to a total of 14 teams. There's a lot still to play for. We'll be back in 10 minutes' time.
So far, the top 5 individual in this first competition for the children. Teams and individual competition 125 against the clock. 10 minutes, we will start again here in the Milestone Farms Arena. FEI Jumping European Championship Kronenberg 2024. We are watching the children in the first competition against the clock in the master.
Well, here we go. Noah Phillips DeVoist going to get us back underway. The final third of this Children's European Championship first round. Table A, Fulton time competition, led individually by Louis Peru for France on Alita des Îles. 76.20 was the time. A lot of teams still in contention with getting home 1-0, but only two of those guaranteed, Ireland and Germany. The Swiss team, though, will be hoping that they can wrap it up with this combination right here, right now. They've already got 2 clears and they've got 2 to go. Noah is the first of those 2 with this gelding, San Francisco gelding. Had a second place in Monaco last week. Well, unpredictable moment as they have a stop at the water tray. That now means they're going to need the clear from Leone as their last rider to go to keep themselves on a 0 score today. Well done, Noah. Got to the end, but did pick up a time penalty or 2 on top of the jumping issue.
Time penalties included in the time of 19.03. Kom uit op 7,3 voor Tijds. Voor de Franse, de numéro 70, Luna Benzat en Gralin AA. Gelding out of 2016 by Cous de Maury and
Well, France with 2 clears as well in a similar position with 2 to go. Lorna Bessard now with Grelin AA. Can they put this to bed in terms of the 0 score with a rider still to go? 3 out of the 5 scores today, counting, of course, once we go into the next 2 rounds, they'll select the 4 team riders that are going to count. Inside line back to this upright. Left-handed to the parallel. Just trying to balance the horse to the double. Jumps it nicely, 1 fence away from guaranteeing France a clear in the team competition, and that they have done with a really nice round of jumping there. So France now have 3 clears. Lorna Bessard guaranteeing that. So they, alongside Ireland and Germany, guaranteed a 0 score here today. So superb for them. Hungary could also finish on a 0, but they need clears from their final 2 riders. They're holding a discard of 8 following a elimination from their opening rider. Dharma going clear. Now it's the turn of leader Josra riding Sim Carlson S. And unfortunately that will count. As will that one. And Hungary, who gone from potential 0 to a best score of 8. This will be held as a discard for the moment. 16 is the score. So leader Jasso there and Kim Carlson riding for Hungary. So that, as I say, is now held as a discard score, and Hungary will move on to a team score of 8. Next up will be the Danish team. Now, as a team of 4, not quite in the generous position of having 2 discards on day 1. Sophie Gray, Jansson Christensen goes next. They, though, have already had 2 clear rounds, so great performances from Xander and Laura, putting them in a very strong starting position now with this stallion Linden. Can they follow it up, this Hanoverian stallion, 11-year-old by numero uno? This is her first time at the Children's Europeans. Jumped recently into the top 5 in the Baltic Championships, and has also finished in the Pony Europeans last year individually in 5th place. Sadly, that score of 4 will put a bit of pressure on Silly Hafdig Nielsen, who's going to be the last to go for the Danish team. But if they can clear this, they know that at worst they'll only be a fence behind. So 4 is the score. Sophie Gry Janssen Christensen there and Linden. So the Danish team, as I say, at best could still get home on 0 on day 1, but at worst it would be a score of 4. Next to go, Vittori Postbidilova riding Hollywood Hosset. This is a turn to the Czech Republic. Their riders so far could yet finish on a 0 score in the team competition, but they're holding 8 and 22 as their 2 discard scores. Vanessa Hokorova did give them a clear and has given them a chance. Now, though, important round here for Vittori. shame. Now the Czech team moving on to a team total of 8.
That's the second refusal eliminated.
Unfortunately, elimination.
From the Czech Republic.
So it does bring, as I say, that to score of 8 into play from Patrick Opatani. Bad luck there to Victory.
9 years old mare by I'm Special de Buse.
Next to go will be Estonian rider Emily Calder, riding Iberia.
Louis Perrault in the lead, clearance 76-20. Twiggy Josephine Sander for Norway second. Sam Witcher at the third position.
Nothing more she could do there. She was sat back holding, and unfortunately it still goes down. So it's a score of 8. And that combination of Estonia's Emily Calder and Iberia. We move on to the Italian team, who also have 2 clears and a 4 at the moment. So that, I mean, 4 would be their worst outcome. They've put themselves in a really strong place with 2 horses and riders to go. On course now is Antonio Sperano and Little Painted DN. Nicely done. Really nicely done for the Italians. They get their clear and guarantee their 0 score on day 1. And that a top 12 performance just outside the 10. So Little Painted DN, Antonio Spano, putting the Italians in a good position with Germany, with Ireland, and with the team from France. Next to go, it is Team Germany that have, well, proved to be in quite brilliant form so far. Can they just keep it going? Charlotte Bocken next up with Kaisha, looking to try and make it 4 from 4 in terms of the clears. With no. Wow. Did not predict that. What a shame. Well, the pressure's off in one respect because Germany know they've got a team zero, but they'll want the best for each of their riders from an individual standpoint. And of course, these riders today will want to put in a strong performance as well to put them within the 4 that go forward as part of the team.
Für Deutschland Charlotte Böcken mit Kascha 5 Punkten, 1 Zeiträder 88,70. 5 penalty points.
Isabel Olsen next to go.
Finland, for Finland starting the number 77, Isabel Olsen with the mare Haya. Haya born in 2012 is a daughter of Berlin.
This is Finland. And that scorer, Charlotte, ended up recovering well. I mean, she only picked up one time penalty, so still it is a score of 5. Now, the Finnish team, who are next with higher, this mare by Berlin. Finland have only brought a team of 4. And now their discard at the moment is a 29. They've got that 4 penalty score they've got to count on. Lovely, clear round. Isabel Olsen. Marcus Backlund, their chef de keep, will be delighted with the performance because that keeps the Finnish team within reach. As I say, there's only so many teams that are going to finish on 0. If you can't finish on 0, finish on 4 because it's only a fence away, and there's another 2 rounds of jumping to go to decide the teams. There's going to be a lot of changes. As I've always said, anything about team jumping in equestrian sport, the closest I could ever refer it to is snakes and ladders, because one minute you think you're up, then you slide down, and vice versa. You can think you're on a down, but suddenly you get a couple of good rounds and it all turns as you climb your way back up again. Well, Spain, who, as we know, are in a great position in the juniors, but now with their children's team are 1 clear away from their guaranteed 0 today. Lucas Moratassaria here with Gabriela Martinez, this mare, trying to make it clear to give them the 3rd. Really good little bit of riding there coming to the double. He's put in a tremendous performance, and that surely, oh, time was tight, but he's done it. And the Spanish team of Reyes Martin, their chef de key, now has a third clear round to ensure that Spain will also have a 0 score going forward into those team jumping rounds over the next couple of days. Superb for them. And a cracking performance. So, I mean, it's going to be fascinating. It really is. Now, Norway. Elsa Ganiel Sandoven riding Camisero CC. The combination on course. Just looking at the others for Norway, of course. Now, Norway were a team, or are a team of 4. They're holding a 13 as a discard. They've currently got a 4 and a clear they're counting. So team score of 4, and any fences here are going to count very quickly. Good luck here as the last of the Norwegian team riders. Ooh, just trying to decide which side of the island they go. But you do need to go around the outside, really. I think it just like locked on to the double, and suddenly she's getting dragged towards it. She did really well not to jump it backwards. I mean, that was a remarkably well-ridden and recovered round. I think she'll need to breathe a little bit now. But that was exactly what the Norwegian team needed, because I'll start that again. Elsa there has delivered them a clear, which ensures that they finish on a team score of 4, which, that's going to put them alongside the likes of the Netherlands, Finland and others. Now, this is the turn of Poland. And riding here is Igor Szochowska riding Wars, this chestnut gelding by Spartacus TN. Poland could yet finish on a 0 score, because this is one of 2 riders they have left to go. They're holding 4 penalty and 12 penalty discards. Good round at the moment. Nicely done. Just sit on the clock as well. So the Polish team can still hope to be moving into the team rounds over the coming days on a 0 score.
For Turkey, number 81, Kara Irem Ismir and Kali Duoshi. Gelding born in 2012. Number 81, Kara Irem Ismir.
Well, the combination there at the moment is for Turkey. It's Kara Irem Izmir riding Kali Dudushi. And the Turkish team today so far have an 8 and a 45. Now the 45 is the discard because it's a team of 4. Round towards the last. Oh, time penalties. Oh, and the last. No, the time penalties just sort of crept up out of nowhere, but that score of 8 counts towards the Turkish score, and they, like Portugal, now on a score of 16, so just dropping back a little. Well, the next to go, it's the turn of Lottie Adams, rides for Great Britain as the next part of their team. Lottie riding Khaleesi OL. This lovely mare by Diamant de Semeli. Was on the podium in Zurich back in April in the Nations Cup. The British team of Claire Whitaker, who's the chef to keep, have 2 clears and a 4. With Lottie here and still Rosie to go. Championship debut for Lottie Adams. Final few fences. Time looks okay. We know just how tricky this final line can be, though. Just the final fence to go to put Great Britain on 0. And that she's done, delivering for the British team. Well done, Lottie Adams and Khaleesi OL. Cracking round as well. She's gone into 8th place individually in terms of those times. But from Claire Whitaker's point of view, the British chef to keep will be very happy to know that she's got now 3 out of 4 so far gone clear, which guarantees the British team a 0 score and a tie of the lead going forward over the coming days. Sweden in a much more precarious position to do that because they only have 1 of their 3 riders clear so far and are holding a 12 and a 13 as a discard. Nikki Anderson then with the pressure on with K&T Shabakwi. Is there anything that can be done? Having to ride with a great deal of care. You just worry a little bit about the time allowed. She's got 20 seconds to get home, but she's having to be awfully careful, try to place the horse in just the right positions to jump the clear. 10 seconds now. It's going to be tight. I think she'll just be okay. Oh, well, Sweden under pressure, and they respond. Look at that. Clear round. Nikki Addison and K&T go back, goes clear as well. So Superb for Sweden after the difficulties for their opening two riders. The second to deliver the clears, Hendrik Goen still to go. A clear round there would guarantee Sweden a tie of the lead as well. So bringing themselves right back into play. Monaco up next, of course, sadly eliminated as a team, but with the individual performances still to count. Polina Kostenko, Orenta Van Het Odegaard, this mare. Nicely done. What a boost for Monaco at the end after what has been a really tough start to their Europeans. Polina Kostenko gets the clear round. So well done on Orenta van der Odegaard. Next to go, though, Romania. Another team that could yet finish on a 0 score, and this is one or two riders still to go in the team. They're holding 4 and 16 as discards. And Elena Botar now with chocolate brown. Pacheco Blue Stallion. Oh, nicely done. Handles the pressure without any worries at all. Well done, Ander. Chocolate Brown goes clear. Top 10 individuals as well. 7th in the order. And now with Daria Maria Koppa still to go. Romania have a chance. Norbert Schumann's team there could yet also finish today on 0. It's not been the easiest day for the Dutch. They, though, have got a chance. We've now moved into the final riders from each of the teams. This is back where we started. And the Dutch, who at best could finish on a score of 4, but that will require a clear. Mini Vos and Don Diablo, the last to go for the Netherlands here. The first competition for this Children on Horses European Championship title, and she's almost fallen foul of the second fence. Now she's got to sit back and recover, but that's not going to happen. Well, the discard, the best discard they had of the two is a 9. So, well, you can say without question that's going to be needed because of the time penalties that will come with this round. So that will let the Dutch finish today on a score of 13 in terms of the team, which with that time penalty on top of the 12 is going to put them a long way out of contention at this particular point. They're going to need a lot of big rounds. It'll keep them ahead of Turkey and Portugal, and of course Monaco, who have been eliminated, but it's going to put them down there in sort of 17th place. That's enough. Minivos, what a shame. It's a massive surprise today for the Dutch team, who do fall into 17th place on a score of 13. Oh, we're going to wait now. As I say, we go into this final rotation of riders. We know Ireland have guaranteed their clear. We know that the team from France have also done the same, as has the team from Italy, team from Germany, the team from Spain and Great Britain. Those are the teams guaranteed 0 scores. Next up, it's the turn of Ireland's Robbie Sheenan. Fabalia is the name of the pony, or the horse, this mare by Verdi. First championship outing, fresh off the back of the team victory in Hagen. He was also on the winning team in France in Compiègne. Very smooth rider. Got a very nice rhythm going to this round. Ooh, well, where did that come from? Suddenly the horse just ducking out to the right hand side. Now unfortunately he's just getting a little bit handy. Just needs to calm himself back down. Just getting a little bit behind the action, just needing to saddle back down again. All sort of came out of nowhere. Was having a really smooth round until that stop, and of course it won't affect Ireland in terms of their team performance and team score. We know that's locked in on a 0 score, but it may well affect, well, it will affect Robbie's ability to compete for individual medals, because he's going to wrap up on a score of 13. So unfortunately, jumping and time combining, for jumping 9 for time, left all the fences up. Massive round for Belgium though here. I mean, it's the tale of two halves, because when you get to your 5th rider and you have 2 riders on a clear, of course you can go clear as a team, Robin Vermeer. The trouble they have is the other 2 riders have both been eliminated, so whatever happens here, it's going to make a massive impact and ultimately settle Belgium's day 1 performance. Copacabana of Paddock Z is this stallion. Oh, what a performance this has turned into. Oh, absolutely brilliant. Well done, Robin. Robin Vermeer and Copacabana Paddock Z has delivered for Belgium. Philip Lacas's team will be over the moon to have pulled that one out the bag. 3 clears in the end, guaranteeing Belgium that 0 score as well. Well done to them. Now to the Swiss. Again, they need a clear round here to guarantee that 0, because they've got an 8 and a 7 they're holding as discards. And, well, 2 clears, yes. But Alessandro Poloni is the last to go, riding here with Jarabella TS. All the boxes at the moment, but we've said that before coming to this double. They get a nice jump in and a nice jump out. Just losing a little bit of that rhythm coming around the corner. In fact, they've lost their way coming around the corner. Now they've got again, I think they got in a muddle over which fence they were going to, but now they can jump the parallel. And that goes down. So the Swiss team will finish today on a team total of 8. Cornelia Notz, the chef de keep, will have a team, and they'll be, in fact, they can go forward on a score of 7. No, Philip's devoiced score will count, which is the 7 rather than the 8. So it just keeps them a little bit ahead of others, but nevertheless, difficult day there for Zoe. Oh, here is Zoe, I should say that, of course, was Leone. Names jumping around on the screen in front of me. So, France, well, they know they already have clear rounds from 3 of their 4 riders so far. Zoe Varon-Ledy now. Arcana Miss Pierre. Oh, over the line. 77.42 is good enough to go into 3rd. France have got 1st and 3rd in this individual class. Certainly showing a lot of talent. Loving the pink hat as well. I think it's really stylish. So Zoe and Arcana Miss Pierre, clear round. France with 4 of the 5 going clear today, keeping themselves in very, very good form. Hungary, Cesar Simaradia now, riding Chavoltis, the Gelding Bachanko Blue, the Hungarian team. At best today they can finish on a score of 8, and they're holding on to a discard of 16. They had an elimination. Sadly, that also, as we know, counts for the team total. Well, I think that score of 4 is still a good strong round, but it does mean that Hungary move on to a team total of 12. Keeps them ahead of the Dutch by a single penalty, but unfortunately down in 16th place. Now to the Danish team, and Denmark up next. Still Hartvig Nielsen here with Commodore Rock. Denmark, who have a team of 4 here, and they at worst will finish on a score of 4, having 2 clears and a 4, but a clear around here could still see them on a 0 score and a tie the lead. Jumps it clear. Denmark do get a share of the lead. They may well have one less rider, but they have certainly got plenty of talent in their ranks. With 3 clears and a 4, the 4 will stay discarded. So we have the Nielsen. That'll give them a lot of confidence going forward over the coming days. With 2 more days and 2 more rounds to decide the team title, and then we'll look towards Sunday for the individual final here for the children. Well, the next combination joining us is Adriana Hakorova, riding for the Czech Republic. This is Antrakt Dostral, the Czech team. At best today could finish on a score of 8, but they're holding a 22 as a discard following an elimination from one of their riders. Lovely round. I mean, that's why you put them in the anchor position for the team of the Czech Republic. They lock off that 8 penalty score, which certainly is a real bonus for them to stay ahead of Hungary, ahead of the Netherlands. They'll only be 1 penalty behind Switzerland and 2 penalties off, or 2 fences off the lead. This is Italy now. We know they have already put in some great rounds today, the Italians. this on course now is Giacomo Martinico Macque and Lamato Price. They already have their 3 clear rounds.
Another clear the time 80.92 result for Giacomo Martinengo Marquez from
Well, when Italy need to know they've got riders that can perform over the coming days, they've seen 4 of their 5 riders go clear today, and Giacomo doing a great job. Germany had 3 clears. A unfortunate stop from Charlotte, their last rider. Now they've got Emma Hertz Eckenrod riding Vieta 103. Well, there's about 10 left to go after this, but also we're about to start in 5 minutes' time with the young riders. So what we're going to do right here, right now, is celebrate Germany having another clear. And if you're watching live with me here on Clip My Horse, sorry, FEI TV, of course, part of the Clip My Horse family of channels, we are going to move our focus on this now to the Young Riders Championship, because there is an overlap, and we are going to go and pick up with the start of the Young Riders. We know how this is all panning out. We know where the 0 scores are based, and there's a couple of important rounds still to come, but we can look into all of that over the coming days. So if you want to keep watching the children, you can do so on the non-commentary channel, and we're going to just take a brief pause and swap things over, because of course the Young Riders takes place here on the grass. So I'm going to run over there, and we're going to kick on with the Young Riders first round very soon.
From Finland, Sani Idi and Backwoods Challenger. Not a clear round at the time 83.02. Van Koos 83/200ste. Spain now, España, Charlize O'Connor, Cabo and Cados, Italian born in 2014. Number 97, Charlize O'Connor, Cabo, España. Second refusal, elimination in this European Championship for the rider from Spain, Charlize O'Connor Cabo, outstarting for the nummer 97. No prize giving in this competition. And we see that the next rider is entering the Milestone Farms and Arena. Alicia Kospal from Poland and Clearwater PPZ, mare by Holstein-bred Clearway and Claudio Sun. Number 98 representing Poland in the competition, 125 against the clock, Alicia Kospal. Well done, another clear just in time, 87.84. Alicia Kospal from Poland. Ja, Polen doet goed in de teamcompetitie. Zainab Kart, Turkije nu met Lentines bij Li Janeiro en Granus. Number 99 voor Turkije, Zainab Kart. 27 penalties, including 11 time penalties. Time is 98.40. Result for Zeynep Kart from Turkey. 4 riders left for Great Britain: Rosie Smith and Fruzelli. Stallion by Zambezi TN and Karandas, born in 2010. The number 100 now for Great Britain, Rosie Smith. Great Britain, well done. Rosie Smith and Fruzelli, clear round in 82.67. Bankdoors 82.67. De nummer 101 voor Sweden, Henrik Groen, quasi van het eigen low. 8 years old mare by Vagabond de la Pomme. Henrik Groen for Sweden. Well done, clear in 78.83. Henrik Groen for Sweden, position number 6 in the ranking. Henrik een prima rit, foutloos 78.83, individueel een 6e plaats. From Romania, Daria Maria Copos, number 102 with Castigo de Amor, stallion by Cascadero and Con Air. Daria Maria Copos. Clear and a lovely time, 79.92. Daria Maria Kopos, clear in 79.92, position number 11 in the ranking. From Bulgaria, the last rider, Laura Cholakova and Veni Vidivici, gelding by Valentino Contendro. Last competitor in the first competition at this European Championship for children, Laura Cholakova from Bulgaria and Veni Vidivici. 5 penalties, including a time penalty in 88.68. Was de laatste combinatie 5 strafpunten voor Laura Cholakova. So the best result was there for Louis Perrault from France, clear in 76.20. Second position, Twiggy Josephine Asander, clear in 77.18. Third for France, Zoe Vaguion-Ledy, clear in 77.42. And the fourth position for Arndt Samwitcher, clear in 78.05. Fifth for Denmark, Sander Reinhold Fredslund, clear in 78.41. At position number 6 for Sweden, Henrik Groen, clearance 78.83. From Poland, at place number 7, Helena Gola, clearance 79.19. At position number 8 for Germany, Maximilian Kögler, clear 79.31. 9th, Anda Elena Boyita with chocolate brown, clearance 79.35. And at place number 10 for Germany, Rianne Beerbaum, Carrero TZ, clear in 79.81. So we have a break and we will start again in the Milestone Farms Sand Arena at a 4:15. At a 4:15 the next competition. Walking the course is at a 2:15.